This movie describes how to use the activity Dynamic Number Grids, clues you can use. Here we have a grid of numbers, and notice that certain numbers are shaded orange. These are the multiples of 2. Other numbers are shaded blue. These are the multiples of 3. And some numbers are shaded half orange, half blue. These are the common multiples of 2 and 3. We can change these multiples by changing either the count by orange number or the count by blue number. For instance, if I change my 2 to a 4 and click outside the box, I see that my orange skip counting numbers have changed to multiples of 4. I can also change the number of columns and rows in my grid. For example, if I change the number of columns from 10 to 11, we see it changes the pattern of colors. Now the worksheet that comes with this activity shows portions of our dynamic number grid. For example, here's one such portion right now in the lower left corner. Our goal is to change the values of our count by orange and blue, as well as the number of columns, so that we match what we see here. Let's see if we can do it. Well, I noticed that in this grid, the numbers jump from 15 to 22 to 29 to 36, but they don't do that here. So if I change my number of columns to 7, and that's something you'll need to think about why that works, then I see I actually have the correct numbers, 15, 22, 29, and 36, and the rest of these are correct as well. Okay, so I'd like to have my numbers that are 15 and 30 shaded orange. Well, one way I could do that would be to have count by orange be equal to, well, how about 5? Because 15 and 30 are both multiples of 5. So I'll change my 4 to a 5. And notice now that I have my 15 and 30 half orange and half blue. I think that's okay because I can still change my orange count by number. So let's think about that. Well, right now 36 is shaded blue. That's correct, I want that. But I don't want all these other numbers shaded blue, like 24 and the 15 and the 30. So let me try a different number for count by blue. How about 18? Well, that looks like it did the trick. This portion of my dynamic number grid matches exactly what I have here. So there are a variety of problems on the worksheet that are just like this. There's also a make your own page. If we were playing this together as a pair, I would ask you to turn around for a minute and I would change these numbers. So maybe I would change my count by orange to, say, 6. I might change my count by blue to 5. And maybe I change the number of columns to 4. And right now we start on the very first row with a 1, 2, 3. But suppose that we start on the second row with the 5, 6, 7. Okay, so the last thing I would do before you turn around is to press Hide Values. And now your goal would be to figure out my count by orange, count by blue, and the number of columns in this dynamic number grid. You could then press Show Values to check your work, and we could switch roles and you could create a problem for me to solve.